there, thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1, Southwesternmost player in Snow White. It is Uncle Howie. He's going first lane as a UEF. He is an 1100. To his northeast in Chevy Crimson, we have Martyr 1 going first lane. He is a Seraphim. He is an 1800. He is tied for the highest ranked player on his team, but his team does have the highest ranked players overall. So again, he's going as the Seraphim in Chevy Crimson. To his north, we have Cerrito going first lane as an Aeon. He is a 1300, and he is in glow in the dark green. And we have in the southeast direction, Khalil going first lane as another UEFA first team. He has a 1200 in Rust. And in lightest red pink here to the northeast, we have Snowy 801. He's going first lane as an Aeon. He is an 1800. The player tied with Martyr for the highest ranked player on his team. But again, Martyr 1 and Snowy 801 are a part of the team that have the highest ranked players overall. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Aeon, 2 UEF, and 1 Seraphim, which means Team 1 does not have access to Cybran technology. Starting off with Team 2, Southwesternmost player, we have Legends of the Stars going first and second lane as a Cybran. He is a 1200 in orange, the color orange. To his east in Ruby Red, we have Defective Lettuce going first lane as a Cybran. He is a 1400, and he is going first land. In Tropical Ocean Blue here in the rear guard slot is another Cybran player of Phoenix 2982 going first air. He is at 1300, and again he's in Tropical Ocean Blue. In Forest Green, we have Literal going first land. He is an Aeon. He is a 1500, and he's going first land. And finally here in the northeast, we have Psycho Ed going first land as another Cybran here for Team 2. He is in Barbie Pink. He is a 1700. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 4 Cybrans and 1 Aeon, no UEF, and no Seraphim. And remember, Team 1 does not have access to Cybran technology. Let's take a look at the reclaim here before our players scoop it all up. And for 10 players, they have 44,000 reclaim. And a lot of it is on this northeastern quadrant here. We have both Psycho Ad. Oh, I thought I saw. We do see the command order given by Snowy 801 to grab that reclaim. There's a decent amount of reclaim in the middle. Very sparse, I'd say, on the edges of the map. So our players are going to be really focused on going to the middle and scooping all that reclaim up. And of course, while they're doing that, they're going to grab those all important mass point. And let's go take a look at their layouts. We do have Trimex, try, and try. So at least 1 Trimex position for each of our players to scoop up on both teams. We have, I'd say, 2 dual mexes down here. Those would definitely be fought over between those 2 players of both Legend of the Stars and Howie. And there is a decent grouping of mexes. I wouldn't call this a quad mex position, but most definitely it's going to be very difficult for, let's say, 1 player on this team to hold this and 1 player on this team to hold this, just because of how close these mixes are together. It's going to be a lot of infighting here between Kaleo and Literal here in the middle. And interestingly here for these northeastern players that are both pink, which makes life a little bit more annoying but also a little bit easier, is that they're on an upper plateau, so either a distance build or transport will be needed to get engineers or other units, or even just the comm up here and fighting over here. But I wouldn't be surprised if most of the fighting occurs between the 2 comms here and they just send engineers to either distance build or transport up there. But with that out of the way, the only not concern that I have here between both these teams, but of course Team 1 has 2 1800s, so they're going more for the outliers play of, they have a lot of high ranks and a lot of low ranks. Team 2 is more of an average, and you can see that here with the average between both teams being only about 20 ranking. But there's going to be a lot of attack power and a lot of APM and all of that coming out of Martyr 1 against Detective Lettuce. So it's going to be not a huge uphill battle, but will be a little bit of an uphill battle for both of these players, because it's shaping up to be a 2v2 scenario here in the southwestern section of the map. We do see the comm of Cyrita moving in to assist his teammate of Kaleo with the middle of the map. We do not see the same. Oh, nope, scratch that. We kind of see the same thing. No, doesn't look like it's materializing here for Phoenix 2982. So it's looking like it can be a 2v2 scenario here in the southwest, a 2v1 here in the middle, and a 1v1 here between the pink players of Snowy 801 and Psycho, and both of them sitting in the reclaim. Just the stare down of the century is what this is. Like, that was funny. They're both sitting there like, what do we do? And there's a bunch of reclaim around them. I don't know if they just didn't give their comms orders to go, or they just were doing something else and went, oh yeah, we should probably do that. But I do find it interesting, Psycho ad going for the individual reclaim play, which is, you know, spamming out the reclaim order, versus Snowy 801 doing the just patrol order, where he's just going to continuously reclaim. In this scenario, he doesn't have a lot of mass in his bar, I would assume, so that would be more beneficial. But if he did, then the individual reclaim, you know, you manually like I want this one, this one, this one, this one, would be better off. But so far, looks like Snowy 801 also doing the same thing, going for the bigger clumps first, and then trying to at least a little bit go on Psycho Ad's territory. I did hear some fighting here between the teams. It does look like a couple of engineers are dropping here to go after reclaim and try to build a Team 1 PD, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're actually going to reclaim the engineers here for Legend of the Stars. He's busy on a reclaim order, but he does look like there's a Mantis coming in to intercept those units, and more engineers do drop. They're trying to aggressively place engineers to scoop up all of the reclaim and jumps up their eco. Here we go. Calm on calm action here between Psycho Ad and Snowy 801. Snowy a little bit more focused on the reclaim. I think that's a Harbinger wreck is what that is. I'm not super familiar with all the wrecks. It definitely looks kind of like a Harbinger. But Psycho Ad, of course, does have a T1 facility right next door, so you can pump out engineers or Mantis very, very quickly. He does have a ton of support coming in here from his main base. So it will be Snowy 801 taking control of the rest of the reclaim, but Psycho Ad will be able to at least try to force him out here pretty shortly. And the red players have added here between Martyr 1 and Detective Lettuce. And again, this is the 1800 and the 1400 that I warned about, that being a little bit of a mismatch. But there are units coming in at about the same time here for both players, so there isn't a huge discrepancy with moves or APM, at least as of right now, that I have noticed. And it does look like Detective Lettuce might be able to push back Martyr 1, but again, it's a Cyberin Comm with 10,000 hit points versus a Seraphim Comm with 11.5k hit points. So a slight advantage for Martyr 1 in that regard in terms of tech. But of course, there are advantages to Cyberins in other ways, as everyone is aware. You know, every faction has, you know, their TMD might not be great, but their T1 artillery might be better, or, you know, the T4 artillery might be better than whatever the case may be. But Snowy 801 is killed off by Psycho Ad. Looks like Psycho Ad just constantly pressured Snowy 801. Cyrito was coming in to assist. That isn't going to happen anytime soon, or at least coming in to intercept Psycho Ad. Psycho Ad's being like, nope, not going to turn around and face you. Not going to do that. Not when it took 2,500 hit points to the face because of that explosion that he was in. But Team 2 scores their first scalp out of the game at 7 minutes and some odd seconds. Team 1 at 4 players left. Team 2 at 5 players left. But again, there is the danger of killing off a player and giving another player his eco. But to be fair, Psycho Ad did take out one of the highest ranked players on Team 1, so it's not that much of a concern for now. It might be, but we'll see. Cyrito's actually going to come and reclaim Psycho Ad's T1 Cyberin facility and all the, you know, units around that. But it's really interesting that, I mean, Psycho Ad and Snowy were just kind of fighting one another. Units were coming in. I don't know if there was an issue with maybe Snowy says oops, maybe he did a move order or something, or by accident and didn't realize it. By the time he realized that was it, probably is what it was. He probably went to manage something else and came back and went, oh, shouldn't have done that. That's probably what happened. But we do see Cyrito wanting a piece of the action as well. Psycho Ad just does not care. He's saying, this is my reclaim. Go away. Go away, Cyrito. I already killed your teammate of Snowy 801. And Cyrito's taking shots to the face left and right. And Cyrito's focusing on going after the Mantis. But Psycho Ad just wants blood. He already has a taste for it. He wants more of it. Looks like he might start retreating just due to the fact that there are more tanks showing up here from his teammate of Kaleo. And those are all transferred over to Cyrito to him to manage as well. Great move here from Kaleo, being able to like, hey, micro these units a lot better. I'm over here. I have to deal with my issues. So you take these units. But Psycho at 1-star veterancy, and he's attacking a lot of Aurora too. Those are fairly weak in terms of hit points. But Cyrito is able to escape just barely. He's a little bit above the threshold for, those the red bar to repair the red bar of danger. We do see a lot of T1 build up here in the southwest here for both of these players. We see both Legend of the Stars in the middle of the map, kind of just by himself. He does have support hit from his teammate, and he can pull these units if needed. We do see Uncle Howie going for a gun damage and range. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Psychoed's going for his gun speed and range and advanced range on the way here for Literal. He already has speed / range on board that command. If I say speed and range, then it makes it sound like it's one upgrade, so I always try to say speed / range to make it a point that it's two different upgrades. Gun range going on the way here for Cyrito, but the upgrade here for Psychoed will finish before his. He might pressure Cyrito, he might not, but there are T2 units on the field here for both Cyrito and for Kaleo, so shouldn't be pressuring that much, but a huge gain here going on the northeastern corner here for Team 1, being able to deny this T3 Mechs position and might be able to start setting up some artillery pieces and start shelling this position here for Psychoed. We do see red on red crime once against here. Defective Lettuce going after the PD for Martyr 1. And we do see that PD going after Detective Lettuce. It might be the first kill here for Team 1. But a lot of those matches get in and attack all those PD. Another T1 is built, but it's being focused down here by Lettuce's forces. Martyr 1, he's being a little bit overwhelmed here. He has T2 Engineering Suite, and Detective Lettuce does have range, so it gives him a slight advantage in attacking that comm. Martyr 1 needs to get out of there sooner rather than later. He does have a little bit boost in hit points due to the T2 Engineering Suite, but he might get it. Oh, he might get a star veterancy here if he kills off enough units. He's at 800. Might be enough. With the new ones coming in, it might be enough. The T1 PD trying to be rebuilt immediately to try to force off these Mantis units, but Detective Lettuce is going to focus that down and kill that off and then go after the comm. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some forces inbound here from Team 1. Nope, they are focused on the push outbound from Legends of the Stars. And this is a very interesting play. Legends of the Stars sends all of his units west, holding these forces off from Uncle Howie, and then moves into this production facility here for him. I would have loved to see him pushing a little bit east and go after the comm of Martyr 1. That would have been a 2v1 scenario here, but there are Ilshis coming online here, and Detective Lettuce needs to be very cognizant of that because those will start ripping him to shreds here very, very quickly once they come into range. Shield coming online here for Literal as well to protect himself, and raiding looks like it was gonna happen, but then those forces diverted southwest here for Psycho Ad and moved in for this facility here for both Kaleo and for Cyrito. And he's at almost 3-star ventures. That Psycho Ad comp being very, very aggressive and starting to look kind of dangerous with that many, medals on his chest. He's going for stealth. Probably going to go for nano next. But Martyr 1 still wants to hold this position down, but there's just so many units inbound here from Team 2 that I don't know if it's going to be worth it. He has those Ilshis online, but the overcharges and all of the units coming out from Detective Lettuce just make it not necessarily impossible, but very hard to keep those units online. And we do see Legends of the Stars shifting in eastward to assist. There are a large group of units probably trying to isolate both of these comms, so even if Martyr 1 is killed off, we see Uncle Howie probably thinking that, hey, I'm trying to get a kill at least on one of these two commanders. And Ilshis are continuing to try to stay online. Detective Lettuce overcharges, kills off another one of those. Legends of the Stars moving in to try to shoot a couple shots in the back of Martyr 1. More Ilshis are coming online. These are both Cybran, not UEF, but Cybran ACUs here. That's the acronym I want to go for. And so they're a little bit weaker than the all the other ones, but 1-star veterancy, 3-star veterancy, excuse me. And gun upgrades do make that a little bit easier to survive. And all of those units outbound from Uncle Howie just get eviscerated by the dual comm and some of T2 units outbound from Detective Lettuce. This is a huge concerted effort here by Team 2 to try to kill off Martyr 1. But Uncle Howie might be the next target if he's going to push that far close to that front line for them. And in the east, Psycho Ed is being walked down here by Kaleo. Kaleo has had enough of it, built a bunch of obsidian tanks to just hold off the firepower from Psycho Ed. Gets underneath the shield just barely in time, but I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, there he goes. Team 2 loses their first player, their high spring player as well, of Psycho Ed at 13, almost 14 minutes, and now it is a 4v4 tied up game. And it was looking like Marta 1 was going to follow suit with Psycho Ed, but he's been able to pump out a lot of Ilshis and be able to at least have some distractions from Uncle Howie coming in. But maybe it looks like Legend of the Stars and Detective Lettuce are just going to settle with Uncle Howie's commander. They're going to move in and intercept. Uncle Howie probably should start retreating once once the first of them comes into range. And this would force the Ilshis to move in and maybe encourage Marta 1 to push in a little bit more. So maybe Team 2 to try to go after him. But Uncle Howie's in the yellow now. He gets a rank and veterancy very crucially to try to survive more of that attack power coming out from Legend of the Stars' commander. Uncle Howie not focused on the comm, focused more on the units. And of course he got a veterancy star from that, so I can't blame him for focusing on that first. Shield coming on the line here for Cyrito. And now we see Literal engaging Kaleo. Kaleo dropping into the yellow, almost into the red. Literal has now lost the capacity on his shield, but because of that, 8,000 hit points were saved. Well, saved, air quotes, in the sense that they were temporary hit points versus, I mean, hit points are kind of temporary in general, in the sense that you can, you know, quote, repair them. But he has additional set of hit points. I probably should have said it that way. We do see some Mongeese here trying to attack at range from, you know, the commander. But the commander getting a lot of veterancy out of this, taking out those high-valued units of the Obsidians. Gets a nice overcharge and kills off that Mongoose. There's one more being able to attack at him. Nice overcharge. Kills off 3 of those Obsidian tanks at one shot. That will almost net him another veterancy here. There it goes. There's that veterancy here getting back into the yellow. And he's doing a pretty good job of holding off the forces outbound from Kaleo and from Cyrito. Cyrito has a couple of forces, but a strap bomber over the top here does definitely assist with dealing with those forces. In the southwest, we have Legend of the Stars and Defective Lettuce still having at it against Uncle Howie. They probably want to just go west at this point, but this, again, draws Marta 1 continuously southward, pulling him away from his defensive line. He is building PD as he goes, so he has defenses going for layered defenses. Very, very smart play here from Marta 1, because he knows that if he retreats, these PD can attack as these comms come further and further into his territory. But with all of that just constant back and forth with 2 comms dying, 1 comm almost dying, another comm almost dying, another comm almost dying, it's a lot of aggressive plays from these players, and I don't really see it being necessarily one-sided anymore between Marta 1 and Detective Lettuce. It looked like it was going to be that way just based on rating, but rating is not everything. And speaking of rating, there is raiding going on here from these Ilshis outbound from Marta 1. Looks like one of them goes west, probably regrets his decision, and the rest of them are going eastward. Looks like they might going after the T2 Mechs here for Literal. Literal now in control of the northeastern sector of his front line for his team, and he's being invaded here by Kaleo. Seeing if these forces can hold off, which they will. They will hold off those forces here from Team 1's Kaleo. And we do see him up here with his commander. It's a huge focus here from Team 1 to go after this position over here. They probably want to isolate, or at least take out a whole player's base from Psycho Ad, because they don't want Literal getting all of that, you know, income and all of that. But, you know, for now, Literal is holding them off, going for tickle cannons to be able to just go after the engineers roaming around. Kaleo going for a fire base here, going to go for some AA and a shield to protect themselves. Obsidian tanks, again, very, very useful. They are the other T2.5 unit in the game, in my opinion. The Ilshis, of course, being the first one. Just because the Obsidians are very tanky. I mean, they are a tank, so they're doing their job, but they're just annoying to deal with. So, especially at the T2 stage. T3, it's fine. Per couple Percy shots, they're dead. But, you know, in that T2 stage, having that many hit points, and especially with the 1500 shield regen, the shield on top of the 1,200 hit points make a difference. Comparatively, the Ilshi has 2,500 hit points, but you can't recharge, quote, or regen 2 sets of hit points at the same time. You can with the Obsidian. So that is definitely an advantage to the Obsidian in that regard. But the Obsidian doesn't fire as much or do as much damage. It's literally designed to be a tank. And tanks are just designed to either soak up damage or take a lot of shots or whatever the case may be. And they're not really designed to output damage, but they're designed to withstand damage. We do see the Obsidian tank coming into range of these T1 P-gens, but there is a brick online with some rhinos supporting it, and that Obsidian is definitely dealt with at this point. So T3 land is now going to start to be the main battle line unit here for both of these teams. We do see a counterattack coming in from the middle from Literal. I don't know if he'll push all the way in. There are some Titans online. These will force back the mainly Blazes and Asylums, the T2 tank and T2 mobile shield or parashield. Even though there is a unit called a parashield from the UEF, I just end up calling all mobile shields parashields sometimes. Net repair coming online here for Detective Lettuce. He'll have to cancel it. He has to move in and intercept these forces. He does have a brick coming on station and does have more facilities pumping them out as we speak. And some of them are up. Actually, 2 of them are pumping out rhinos, 2 of them pumping out bricks. And this is a lot of pillars here for Uncle Howie. And Team 2's Detective Lettuce should not underestimate the attack power of a bunch of T2 tanks, especially at the transition phase between 2 and 3. But it does look like Uncle Howie will be forced back by the brick support from both Detective Lettuce and Legend of the Stars. There isn't a lot of raiding going down here in the southwestern corner. Mainly focused on this lane right here. And it's a lot of build up here. It looks like bricks are in range of that commander. They're going to start walking him down. These pillars will probably have to turn around and face that incoming threat from the bricks. But the bricks trying to, again, stay out at range. And this one's still in it, attacking Uncle Howie's commander in the back. We do see some T3 mobile artillery also online here for Detective Lettuce. So going in for that long range, I can attack you, but you can't attack me play that I always love to see. It looks like Titan got back here. Don't know. Looks like there's another. Well, that looks like a strap bomber, but I don't know where that came from. It must have been transported off because I don't see literally, unless it like walked all. Oh, I guess there's a couple of mixes here, so it probably walked all the way around like this, trying to avoid the main production facility, but wasn't able to do so for long. Titans start eviscerating those Harbingers. Harbingers, again, they are decent. They're not ISIS. From my personal opinion, they are my least favorite of the T3 main unit. I just don't know why. They don't have the hit points. They have a tiny shield, but there's only the Obsidian tank has more shield capacity than a Harbinger. Of course, the Harbinger does have an engineering suite on board, but I don't know. I feel like it's not. It's useful when you can use it, but I would probably prefer more like the brick style with just a bunch of hit points, that kind of thing. That'd be my pick. But of course, I love the Percy, so they have a lot of hit points too. Detective Lettuce, again, receiving a ton of fire to the face here from these Ilshis. Unfortunately, he does have 5-star veterancy. He has gun and stealth. Stealth doesn't do anything against vision, but wouldn't be surprised if he goes cloaking. Howie trying to attempt to break the front lines for Team 2 once again, but is going to just run headfirst into a brick. There are a couple of these trebuchets. That probably would have been the focus of that overcharge. Does take out a couple of T2 units as well, but he charged forward with none of his support, and now there's essentially a counterattack on the cards here for Team 2. Oh, they're trying to go for Uncle Howie, but he goes forward, takes a decent amount of shots to the face, and then retreats, regens, and goes and does another run at it. I am surprised to see him not necessarily still alive, but with all of these bricks, surprised to see Detective Lettuce not even just go for the comm directly. Overcharging gets a decent amount of hit points off a couple of bricks. Bricks, again, not focusing the comm, and literally as I say it, then they focus the comm, they focus on the units. But Howie, okay, that's the last time he's going to do that, because he has been killed off by those bricks. Unfortunately here for Team 1, they lose another player. And it's now at 3v4, excuse me. Yeah, I was just still surprised that he just kept charging forward. He knew there were bricks there, And he knew that they were defending. I just was surprised. Maybe he thought maybe his overcharge would do more damage. I don't know, but this has been happening recently. Oh, Control K coming out from... Hold on. What's going on? Hold on. He said this has happened recently. Oh, no, they broke the game. Legend, this has been happening recently. One person leaves and it screws the game. Legend, you have lag and sim negative. Oh, geez, that's rough. Looks like, okay, Legend, your PC and Ethernet are dead. I died. Okay, I leave. Oh, that's too bad. Well, Team 2 loses a player due to computer / internet / whatever other external issues. Give me base, says Detective Lettuce. Yeah, or give me Legend's base, says Detective Lettuce. I mean, it would be easier for him to micro anyways because he's right here. But it's always sad to see a player leave because of that. I mean, it happens. There's no desync, luckily, so that's always nice. But it's just always sad to see that. It's now a 3v3 game. So it seems like when one player dies on one team, the other almost mirror player also dies. So I feel like if Detective Lettuce dies, Martyr 1 will die shortly after. That's kind of the trend that's going on so far. But Harbinger's pushing straight on through this front line, not being sandwiched between Khalil's forces. Definitely not the position you want to be in. It's probably just due to the fact he just didn't have enough to hold off, so he decided to just force everything down the line, giving enough time for his comm to retreat, at least back up at least a little bit. He is also at 5-star efficiency, so very, very tanky comms here for Team 2, even due to the fact that they don't have Seraphim commanders, and Seraphim commanders are really known for their tankiness and their commander nonsense. But looks like it was mainly just to force these units forward was mainly a distraction to send all of these units on the east. There are bricks. They're going to go after a lot of T2 mexes. We haven't even gone after Eco or talked about it here in the game. And at 24 minutes, Team 1 producing 700 mass income. Team 2 about the same as well. Both these teams staying relatively even in their mass generation game. Team 2 has collected a little bit more mass than Team 1, but that's probably... No, it's not due to the reclaim. Team 1 actually has more than Team 2, but it looks like Team 2 was a little bit ahead in the regen for a little bit, and Team 1 is pretty much caught up. But for the most part, I mean, both teams, 3 players left. 1 player on the left side for each team, 1 player on the right side for both teams. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win the game. I can't say because, I try to stay impartial. Some matches, like, it's not hard. I mean, it's difficult for me to stay impartial because it's like it looks like it's going to go one way kind of thing. But let me know down in the comments what you think. I have no idea, so please, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say at this point in the game. Of course, no cheating. You can't just skip ahead, go see who wins, and then comes back and say something. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. Of course, let's take a look what's going on. It's just artillery going out and missiles outbound here from both teams, actually. Actually, no, that was an artillery shot. That was not a missile. It looked like a missile. It has the same yellow icon. There are missiles outbound here from this TML, the TML-4, going after the shield generator. Makes sure going at probably the sniper bots. But the facility here is down here for Team 1. They'll lose a little bit of production, but it's not a huge issue. Chicken on the front line here for Martyr 1. That might be the first experimental of the game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see another one anywhere for Team 2, so possibly. And this chicken's going to be huge. Lettuce is going to be forced to retreat. You win, says Psycho Ad. Yeah, there's a ton of bricks. I mean, when I say a ton, it is probably a metric ton at a minimum, just because of how heavy these units probably are. But that chicken is going to be eaten alive by a brick wall, and either it retreats or just goes head forward. And look at all those shots. Look at them. Look at that. Look at all that focus fire is what we would call that. That is nonsense. That chicken didn't have any support, and it just died. We'll kill off a couple of units because of its ion storm, but definitely the better end of the deal here for Team 2. And it does look like Detective Lettuce is just going to go back to his main base and just hang out. I only have one question. Why? I mean, it looks like it's a template build, but why is there just a random wall section with one entrance, with one PD and one AA? It's a cool design, but why? Why? I love the fact that because it was built by Legend, his wall section colors are still here. So it just makes it a little bit, almost looks like a flower, essentially. We do see Literal and Kaleo and Cyrito for a little bit, just being kind of slowed down a little bit in their action. We do see a nice little group of Restorers online here for Team 1. He is moving in over to the east, just trying to probably get a nice little hook maneuver going on. There is a decent amount of AA, not a lot of T3, but there is some flak in the mist, so those Restorers going to have to focus that immediately. They're not known for their air-to-ground weaponry, but, you know, they can manage for sometimes. We do see those ASF moving in for Phoenix, and he definitely sees something going on. Maybe he saw the Restorers or not, but he's going to intercept them nonetheless. ASFs do come in and assist. Now, the Restorers are known for their AA, and Literal does notice a nuke. We'll take a look at that in a second and look at how much that is loaded. The ASFs actually focused more on going after the ASFs from Cyrito, and Cyrito abandons his Restorers. This is a nice little win here for Team 2's air player of Psychoad is dead. Phoenix leaves. Couple, aren't you? That doesn't make sense. I don't know why he's just going to leave a couple of those there, but he just is. The nuke is actually online from Cyrito, and it's half loaded. Team 2, do you have SMD coverage? No. No. Yes, but it just got built. Yes, but it just got built. And no. So Team 1 essentially has a free nuke to put anywhere on the map. And there could be an argument to be made for any of the players. But there's a lot of pressure outbound here from Lettuce in the southwest, pushing against Martyr 1. He has a lot of Titans, known for their high fire rate, but not known for their tankiness, at which the brick has both. Go this way, says Psycho Ad. Oh, talking about going in around this way, not going down this way, I guess. But oh, no, he's talking probably to Literal going west. Chicken production facility is online, and it's going to be just pumping out those chickens. Oh, I don't want that. There we go. The reason I was moving my mouse around and I clicked on that. I use my center mouse button to do the movement for the camera, so sometimes it acts as an actual like left click. Anyway, we do see those Harmagers moving in. There are some Percys online. They're going after this production facility here for Team 1's Kaleo. Might go after the T2 Air headquarters. Isn't super valuable, but actually the big target would be the T3 land headquarters here for Kaleo, locking his ability to produce those Percys that he so desperately, well, not desperately needs, but he so probably enjoys producing. We have some spearheads as well as some Percys and artillery online. This is a literal siege here for Literal. He has to deal with this constant pressure here from Team 1. Cirrus Cults. Don't know what that's about. But Harbingers are in the main base here for Kaleo. His base is being ravaged now. And all those mexes are done and dusted. Nuke has launched, and where is it going? It's going air grid. It is going for the air grid. Phoenix 2982 probably recognizes the threat, also knows that his SMD is not loaded. This would severely hamper Team 2's ability to fight in the air. There are a nice little group of strap bombers online. He might go after the comm. He might go after, Kaleo's right there. And I wonder if the nuke, okay, I was going to say, I don't think the nuke has vision, so you can't see anything with it. Those strap bombers are going for something. I don't know if they're going for the, they're going, well, if you're going to put them all the way this way, you might as well send him in. Looks like he's actually going to fall. No, he's going to go for Kaleo in the, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for Kaleo, and of course, kaboom, that whole air grid is done and dusted. And here come those strap bombers are inbound. Kaleo is going to receive some shots to the face. He's still alive at 300 hit points. ASF's trying to come and save him, but if one strap bomber gets by, which pretty much all of them do, that's done and dusted here for Kaleo's comm. Again, he's going to rep up back to almost 1,000 hit points, but one bomb will do it. He's going to maybe dodge, but no, he does not, and just accepts his fate, and there he goes. Team 1 loses another player, and if the trend goes, it's going to be Literal next. We'll see if that actually happens, but Team 2's air power has been severely, if not entirely, crippled by that one nuke. So while Team 1 loses a player, they gain a huge advantage in the air. And now in the west, there is a lot of unit buildup here for Martyr 1. He could really push into the east and go after this group of units. There is a Monkey Lord in the mix, but all of these, they're all Titans. Well, this amount of Titans could do a lot of work, to be fair, but I would probably like to see Marta 1 go for more Perseus and Authams than Titans. Of course, Titans move quicker, but I don't know if that's really important at this stage. Strat Bomb is going to go in, go for the air grid, and going to cripple actually all of it, with except for one T3 P-Gen. They probably might circle back around and go after the Nuke. Nuke killed off 73,000 mass in that one Nuke. And looks like they are going to go for it and go for the Engineers as well. This is a huge, not comeback, but huge play here by Team 2's air player. Both air players have been crippled in the game, and there's not going to be a little bit of air for a while. So it's really going to be focused on the land. Lots of mechs is dead here for both teams in the Southwest, but this push going to continue to move on forward. Chicken is in defense mode, trying to deal with these incoming bricks. All these bricks being a little bit body blocked by the environment. And Titan warfare going on here for Team 1's Marta 1. This is a lot of Titans. Gotta go, boys. Gotta go. Gotta move. Swarm that monkey. And there they go, moving in. We'll shoot faster than you, essentially what those Titans are saying. Or anything you can do, I can do better. And there goes that monkey. He is down. Nice little gift of mass here for Team 1. Not really a lot of damage was done, but look at this. Team 2 is literally just carving a path straight through the explosion of Khalil's commander. Going again for this position. The T3 land headquarters doesn't look like it was not killed off, but still going after the defenses of Nexus here. Team 1 has a huge hole to deal with, and yes, the Nuke is dead, so they don't have to constantly assist the SMD. It's good to have at least one loaded, to be fair, but after that, you don't have to put as much pressure on it. Now it's a race to T3 air once again here between Cyrito and Phoenix. Phoenix, don't know where his comm is. He's over here. Doesn't look like he's going for air at the moment. He does have one air facility. His one Pigeon. How is his eco doing? He still has some power. Okay. He's not terribly deficient, but it does look like Marta 1 warns Cyrito of something. Some air scouts did spot him. Too much mass to... Was it justify? Or just let them have, says Detective Lettuce. Yeah, but it's firmly in Team 1's territory. You would either have to nuke it or just send a ton more units out. But there is a crab online. That might be enough to break that front lines here for Marta 1, but I don't know. Team 1 lost an air grid and a nuke. And a player a little bit earlier than that. So they're really reeling, giving them a little bit mass. Shouldn't be too bad. Team 2 is producing at about 1,000 mass, and Team 1 at almost 900. So Team 2 is starting to out-eco Team 1 quite significantly, and we can see Literal just literally forcing those front lines forward. And yes, I know what I said there. I used his name to literally say something. Well, I mean, it happens when your name is literally literal. We do see those Titans moving in. There is one Tickle Cannon online. That TML has gotten 6,000 mass killed, so done a decent job of that, and is going to kill off a decent amount more. It looks like the missiles are outbound for that chicken. The chicken isn't moving, and let's see how many hit points that chicken will lose. There is no Team D in the area, so these will all hit. Nice chunky hit points. 2, 3. 3 of the 4 hit, taking off a decent chunk. I think it was like 12,000 hit points is what it lost based on my math. But Percy's would have been huge for this push instead of Titans, but I don't know why he's sending him in. He's doing a little bit of damage, took out a couple of mexes, but it's just the issue that the Titans are running into is that because the bricks have so much hit points, I mean, Titans can do a decent amount of damage, but it just can't. Like they struggle. Look at this. Look at all of them focusing on one brick, and the bricks just rip through those Titans. They'll kill off one more brick, and that will be about it. I feel like Marta 1 should transition to just Percy's in general. He's just still producing Titans. I get it. He wants those rapid response units, but with all these brick walls forming here for Team 2's Detective Lettuce, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Actually, I do know. It's not going to be enough. He needs to transition to Percy's. That's what I should say. Second chicken online here for Marta 1. Excuse me, third chicken also online here. So he's going to go for Titans and chickens, which could work, but still I feel like Titans and... Not Titans, but Percy's and chickens would be way better here for Team 1. A nice little couple squads of bricks with some AA support outbound here from Literal, moving northward, going after this position. We do, of course, see Cyrito not even rebuilding the air grid. I don't know. He has the T3 one coming online here shortly, but I mean, maybe he wants to wait till he has T3 air online to redo his air grid. But we do see Phoenix doing very similar things of splitting his T3 air headquarters away from his main air grid. Love to see that. There isn't any support around. That probably will build maybe a PGen or two here just to reduce the energy cost of those units. But another attack outbound here from Team 2 is Detective Lettuce pushing forward and is not stopping. There are two chickens. Two chickens will defeat one crab. This chicken is severely wounded though. But there's a lot of T3 support here for Detective Lettuce as well up. There's Psycho Ed being the man in the chair, trying to assist the Literal with some tactics. Going after the T3 land headquarters would definitely be big, taking out their ability to produce harbingers and the like. Doesn't look like they'll get it though. 1,000 hit points left. Attack in the west. One of the chickens. I don't know where the chickens. They were over here and now they're over here. I don't know really where they're going. Both of them aren't even really attacking the crab at all. So tons of free damage going on to this first chicken. Second chicken does come into range as well. Isn't focusing the crab. There he goes. Is now focusing it. And there is now a third chicken online. Looks like that was a different chicken. So there's three chickens. There are three chickens to be fair. Help, says Kaleo. But one chicken is down. This crab will die, but the second chicken will die as well. That one will get a ranking veterancy. Stave off a little bit more damage, but that one will die as well. Tons of bricks. Just constantly ripping those hit points off like a band-aid. Just rip, 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 rip. I saw it. What was that? Help. There's a chicken. Talking about, oh, the Colossus. Well, again, one Colossus, one chicken versus one Colossus. That will always win. I don't know why he was worried about that, but I don't know. Literal, I don't know what his plan is. He's just going for mass eco at this point. He's at 700 mass income. I don't see any big plays here for Team 2. So while Team 1 went for a nuke to try to end the game, or at least progress it forward for their victory, at least their desired victory, I haven't seen any other moves. I don't know if they're just don't know what to do because their air grid is down and they lost their nuke, but I feel like at this point, another attack outbound here from Detective Lettuce. This time it's just a monkey. Looks like it's going after the chicken. The chicken, of course, going to win that fight most handedly due to the range advantage and all of that. But there's just more and more bricks coming online. Detective Lettuce just throwing units at his opponent at this point. He wants to secure that grab reclaim. I don't blame him, but probably should have waited for the bricks to come into range as well. Sniper bots online, trying to, again, snipe their opponent at range. But now a majority of those bricks are now in range. We do see Percy production is now online here for Team 1 Smarter 1. And those chickens, they might get another rank in veterancy before it dies. It does. Is it going to be enough, though? I think it will, because there are some Percy support now with some Titans. That chicken will die. 70,000 mass killed by that one chicken. And that is it for that push from Detective Lettuce. Another mass dump here for Team 1. They have a lot of mass to play with on this side of the map. Speaking of which, let's take a look at how much. Let's see how far in can I zoom before the number. Okay, 100,000 mass on screen here at a total of 222,000 mass. A lot of it in Team 1's territory. And Team 2, I mean, doesn't want them to get it, of course, but Team 1 isn't really, they're not really going for it. I mean, there are efforts to go for it, but there isn't like high concentrated efforts. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3 chickens, 1 monkey, 1 crab. And then we have a bunch of other T2, T3 units. Then we have more units here. And then, of course, the air grid up here and the nuke that I think already got reclaimed. It's just there's a lot of mass that Team 1 can use and funnel into some sort of project. But in terms of the generated eco, Team 1 at 830, Team 2 at 1.4K at 1,400 mass a second is a huge jump, almost producing double the eco. And we can see that just due to the fact that the air grid is rebuilt and just started to pumping out strap bombers and ASF. We do see, of course, Literal going for a heavy shield to protect his commander and another Colossus. and gating in more SACUs is what it looks like. Crab also being produced. I mean, Team 2's thrown a lot of mass at this side of the map. They haven't made a lot of progress. Motor 1 has held off very well here. Don't know. And you have all the mass in the world, Team 2. You're not doing anything with it. Team 1, you have a lot of mass in reclaim. Put it to something. Team 2 isn't. Team 1 could go for artillery and could have shelled this air grid once again. And like I said, they could go for a lot, but they're just not going for it. Another Colossus is online. This one is severely wounded, repping 35 hit points a second. Going to take a while to get back to full health, but it's there. Team 2, again, being very defensive, especially for Literal, because he has to deal with multiple fronts, but he's just kind of sitting here. Psychoettes is pressure him from Literal, probably saying, hey, you should probably move in at least a little bit. A lot of the focus of attack power is coming from Martyr 1 and Detective Lettuce. Both of the red players have a feud with one another, apparently. And they just want to crush one another, but it's just, you know, one pushes forward, gets stopped. The other one pushes forward, they get stopped. No land in front. AFU stop being AFK, says Literal. Maybe that's it. Maybe Literal's just not doing as much as Psychoad thinks he should be. We do see some ASF are now online trying to shield these chicken. And there are 3 of them now coming into range of that crab. The crab going to start to retreat. Is there another crab? There is, and it's almost in the green. Even if that crab dies, it would be able to hold off another push from these chickens. And 2 of them are focusing fire on said chicken. Percy's coming into range as well. First chicken will die. Needs to keep shooting at it and actually, you know, aim at it. There it goes, and it's going to activate its Iron Storm right behind these 2 chickens. This crab will, of course, just land right here. 2 chickens, perfectly, not perfectly healthy. One of them has been wounded, but, you know, this one is in a good, clean bill of health. Second crab almost completed as well. Team 2 now has a hole that they have to plug here with Team 1's Martyr 1. That's all that mass that I mentioned earlier being funneled, I guess, into chicken production, which isn't a huge... I mean, it's a good idea, but I don't know if he probably could have funneled into something else. He has more bases than me, says Detective Lettuce. I mean, yes, that is true. However, Detective Lettuce has held up very well so far. And especially with the pressure outbound here from Literal moving into the west, a lot of sniper bots holding off this group of Harbingers. A couple of Harbingers could just walk into range and shoot all those sniper bots down, but just doesn't want to go for it. We do see, of course, the chicken ripping through this T3 land base, just denying all of the bricks being produced, and those deceivers as well. Norris and Percy's as well online. It's going to be slow, most definitely, but Team 1 might be able to crack this position. It's definitely the weaker of the 3 lanes. We now see a counterattack outbound here from Cyrito. Cyrito pushing him with his chicken, trying to do maximum damage with the Ion Storm. Petey coming into range. Colossus almost destroyed as well, but there's a FAF online trying to shell this Colossus, trying to deter an attack from the west, or into the west here from Literal's position. But now with that crab online here from Team 2's Detective Lettuce, this chicken is almost down. It's trying to get as close enough with its Ion Storm to do maximum damage, which it's barely in range to do. Strat Bombers over the top target the second chicken. Oh, and that's a lot of Strat Bombers. Oh, that's 26 Strat Bombers. That's a little over 2 squadrons. That's a lot of attack power. You could snipe essentially anything on the map at this point with all those. I mean, I don't know if it would be all in one pass. Let's say a Colossus or something, but it would pretty much be 1 to 2 passes. You could snipe anything on the map. That could be a play to end the game. Counter Strat Bombers outbound here from Team 1 going after the crab. Doesn't want Team 2 to have any nice things. No experimentals. If I can't have experimentals, no one can have experimentals, says Martyr 1. Kill Eco, says Kaleo. And then too many expos, says Literal. Yeah, but what are you producing is my question. He's just sitting there loading an SMD. Team 1 isn't loading a nuke. It doesn't have a nuke. Team 1 isn't going for artillery or any sort of game enders. There is 1 satellite almost constructed here for Team 1. That is it. Team 2 producing 1.6k, and Team 1 has caught up a decent amount. Now at 1.2, that gap has shortened at least a little bit. We have Strat Bombers moving into the east. I don't know where they're going or what they're going for, but Nope. Oh, no. Oh. They are deciding what orders to be given. It looks like they might go after the air grid once again. The ASFs might have seen that Novax. Oh, they definitely know where the Novax. Oh, there's more. There are more strap bombers inbound. There are now 31 of them. And I wonder what they're going... I mean, they could drop on top of that Novax. ASF are moving into intercept. They're going for the comm, I think, of Cyrito. And honestly, with the AA on board those strap bombers, they're doing a little bit of deterrence for those ASF. It might be enough. Cyrito needs to move. Don't move next to the pigeon. That would be bad. Oh, there he goes. And they take out that other pigeon. I dodged like Michael Jackson. Unfortunately, it's really hard to dodge Cybern because of their AoE on board those strap bombers. And more strap bombers get passed through, going after a T3 air headquarters. Probably should have struck the pigeons, but doesn't matter. They got the kill. It's now a 3v1 in favor of Team 2. And there is a huge momentum shift going here for Team 1 on this western side for Martyr 1. Strap bombers are taking out all of the eco here for Detective Lettuce, but he now has a second crab online. He's going for laser. He might just telemaser and kill off the comm of Martyr 1. He might just do that. There are multiple shield structures being built to defend himself. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. I do not think it's going to be enough. The strap bomber's actually going to target either the pigeon or the comm, either or. But they fly over some AA, and the ASFs from his teammate of Phoenix come in and deal with the rest of those. Air grid, says Cyrito, saying, hey, I still have an air grid. And there's now a secondary air grid online here for Martyr 1 as well. Yeah, still targeting the comm, it looks like, with a shield or something. But third crab, actually that's a monkey, excuse me. Third experimental online. 2 crabs versus 3 chickens. It should go the crab's way, especially with the initial range advantage here. You can see just tons and tons of hit points being reduced. It should, no, like I was going to say, focus fire on 1 chicken first. You don't want to split your focus. 3 chickens with 2 crabs focusing 1 chicken each. Actually, that might actually favor the chickens, but 1 chicken is down. I say chickens a lot in FAF. And Monkey Lord going to be attacked at range first and then come into range. The monkey will not win this fight, unfortunately. Unless he can get behind the chicken, then it would win the fight, which it is starting to do. Oh, that's not great. The chicken should have just stopped and turned around and faced that monkey off. But Team 2 will have a monkey in reserve. And that attack power here from Team 1's Cyrito was kind of nullified by Team 2's defenses. And Strap Bombers over here going after the crab and all those units. I do love the distributed orders. They're taking out a ton of units. There is a lot of flak here, but Strap Bombers will be able to avoid at least some of it. Not all of it, but at least some of it at a minimum. And there go the hit points on board that crab. Team 2 still has to worry about a laser from the skies. They weren't able to take out the Novax. They didn't prioritize it. Massive wave of strap build, says Cyrito. I mean, yeah, we do see some shields coming online here for Phoenix's base. We'll be able to shield most of it. Some of it will be exposed, but the emitters are being focused by the satellite, which it should be, so we can target all of this stuff underneath the shielding. Teleporter is done for Lettuce, and will he just end the game with a teleportation? He's probably going to try to find the comm first, which the comm, of course, for Team 1's last remaining player is right here. T2 PD is being built. It might be enough to hold off the comm. T1 PD would probably be better in that engagement, because they fire, and then they have to reload or recharge, and they have to fire again. He's going to move here. I don't know why. You would think he'd be better served being under shield coverage. But wave of strap bombers is inbound, and they might just kill the comm off here anyways. It won't even probably matter. Here they go. You can see that shield structure in the difference. AA trying to just take out all the ASF, protecting those bombers. Bombers have been given clear targets. They have been cleared to engage. Some of them will not make it to their targets, but the amount of damage on board those bombs would be enough. ASF try to come in. There's not enough. Here they go. The bombs have been released. Is it going to be enough to take out the comm and the shielding? No, the comm is fine. Will the second pass do it? He survived at less than 500 hit points. And are those bombers going to come into range? I think all of them were killed off. Oh, teleportation is inbound. Most of the team, not team, most of the PD is down. Next wave, says Cyrito. But it doesn't matter. The teleportation from the Cybran ACU from Detective Lettuce will kill off his mirror of Martyr 1. There he goes. Just insta-killed there because he just had no hit points. And there it goes. Team 2 wins the game with 3 players remaining. I'd say it was a pretty good game. Definitely a huge amount of back and forth here between the comms for all sides of the map. But MVP, I mean, it's kind of hard. Definitely Psycho had assisted a ton in the East, taking out Snow 801 and then assisting from the armchair position after he was killed off. Literal just kind of, I mean, he did a decent amount of attacking, but his main goal was just defend, which he did a very good job of, especially after, one player died in the Southwest for his team. But I think MVP might just go to Detective Lettuce. He really held off Martyr 1, especially considering Martyr 1 was an 1800 and he was a 1400. So definitely, a contender for MVP. Phoenix coming in with the strap bombers definitely shook up the game, killing off 2 players as well. So if Team 1 had funneled that mass into maybe artillery, not been so much aggressive on the land side of things, and went more for defensive, maybe they could have turned it around, but they were so focused on going for the ground win that just couldn't make anything else materialize. But let me know down in the comments how you felt about the game. And again, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And I will see all of you in the next one.